Good morning. It's Tuesday and I just took my girls to the bus stop at the end of our driveway and kind of settled things for the morning, and I'm really feeling drawn to talk about something that I'm smack in the middle of, so I'm not really sure how this is going to go, but I feel like anger is one of those human emotions that are hard for us to be with and deal with, and it's very easy for us to want to put it on the other people around us. That's why it's so explosive, and frankly it can be an ugly emotion when it comes out. And I'm feeling moved to speak about it because I've got anger coming towards me right now from one of my children, and I get it. I totally get it. And all of the accusations and you don't understand me, and at least other people get me, and sucks when your own family doesn't get you, and it just sucks. Like, it sucks when you feel like people don't get you. And I think for the past many years, the reason I feel called to talk about this is because it very much relates to like the festering and brewing of cancer in my husband's body. He's been in pain for a long time, and pain with multiple myeloma. The symptoms, kind of the disease process, smolders. And I think smolder is an interesting word. I mean, it just, it feels like, when, like, it's like this thing was happening, and, cells were doing all of this internal stuff, really wreaking havoc inside of his body before it came out into the open and was something that we got to know as multiple myeloma. So for years he was really uncomfortable, in a lot of distress because of it, and I didn't know what I was feeling, but I was feeling all kinds of things, and I received it, pushed it back, got angry at it, got mad at it, tried to put it in its place, tried to understand it, tried to justify it, tried to like rationalize it and make sense of it in the moment, try to figure out where I was responsible for whatever I felt coming my way. And I think when you're hurting, like when you're hurting and you're suffering, it comes out. It has to some way. And so there were times where like comments would be made and it would have this off tone, or, why did you do this like this? And I was like, excuse me, like, could you say that a little differently? And then I found myself just like bottling it up and then blowing up myself, or I needed to go vent in the garage and spew it out. And prior to his diagnosis, probably the 4 weeks prior, I started taking a course on, I think it's called Sacred Self-Trust. And it was really about just totally owning my emotions, totally owning all the stuff going on in me, and just choosing to be like, I could get angry, I could be mad, I felt like I was, prior to that, felt really justified in all the reasons that I felt angry from time to time. And yet I didn't like that feeling of anger coursing through my body. It felt yucky. It just felt like, I don't, that's not how I want to live. That's not what I want to feel. I want to be, and I understood to some degree that it had to do with how he was feeling. Like, when things would kind of spark and fly between us, it was usually related to like not enough sleep, a prolonged period of pain after the last busy farm activity where it just set his whole body off. And I could feel it, And then I felt like, okay, I'm the punching bag. I get this. Like, I'm not literally, like I wasn't physically a punching bag, but I emotionally was. And, you know, and so there's the pain over here, and then what's spewing out from it. And then I felt like I was receiving it, and then I was spitting it back or dishing it out, you know, in our home environment. And my kids might feel it because, you know, it just had to come out somewhere. So that's sometimes where it came out. And, taking the steps to really understand it and clean it up and just say, I'm totally responsible for myself. I'm responsible for what I do with these feelings, what I do with these emotions, and kind of whatever emotional state goes on inside of me, that's on me. And I can keep being angry, or I can choose something else. And so the work that I was doing prior to his diagnosis was really about like trusting myself and loving myself and understanding just, you know, I can only control like what goes on in me. But that's a lot, actually. So the place I am in now, like, I feel like once cancer came into the picture and we understood what it was like, oh, all this pain and this discomfort and this like prolonged periods of the body not recovering, and it has a reason. There's a name for it. And now we can like properly welcome it into our home and understand where these discomfort, like these uncomfortable feelings are coming from. And I felt like I could move into a position of like proper caring, like not just trying to package it up and put it away and make it go away, or shame and blame for the ways that I was treated, you know, I don't know. I felt it coming out at me and I just didn't like, I just felt very justified in trying to put it in its place. And now that we know what it is, it's out in the open. It's like, is this, you know, is this the cancer? Is this what you're feeling? Like, is this the chemotherapy? Is this any of the meds that you're taking that are causing these symptoms? Is it the fact that you have no food in your body or you can't keep food down? I don't know. It's like we have because it's out in the open, we can talk about it. And but right now I've got anger coming at me from one of my daughters, and feels like it's coming out sideways and jabbing me here and jabbing me there, and it's coming out in tone of voice, and I get it. I totally get it. And part of me is just like, do I just allow it because it's got to come out? Right now I'm sort of holding a line and saying, I understand it and it has to come out, but you also have to like own it and put words to it, because it's not okay just to smear our anger all over people around us, because then we grow that. It's like this anger that's inside of us, you know, when we don't take responsibility for it and voice what it's about, then it grows. Like it grows, it infects the space around us, everybody else feels it. And I think in the moment it feels like a release, but it's not. It just magnifies it. And so I'm holding space right now for, you know, my daughter to be able to put words to it. And it could very well be about me. That's fine. But there needs to be words to it so that we can, you know, it feels like it transmutes it. it becomes something different when we can actually verbalize it. And I mean, I think tears are healthy, and, you know, throwing our body about is healthy to some degree. But at some point, we have to just own it. And me being angry about cancer, like, I can't make it go away that way. I wish I could. I wish all the negative emotions in the world would make this get better, would make it go away, but it won't. It is here. It's here to stay. It's here until it's not. And I wish I could make it go away for my girls. And I think anger is a very appropriate emotion given what they're living through. And yet, you know, there's, you know, part of our human experience is suffering. There's so much going on our planet right now that could give us cause for anger, and a righteous kind of anger, where we feel like that's wrong and I'm angry about that. And, you know, but if we stay in that state and we keep, you know, it's like we've got to let that anger arouse us and move us to a place of doing something, taking action, having conversation, having conversation again. But if we just sit and fume in it, it like creates this big dark cloud around us, and that big dark cloud gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and we suffer inside of that. We suffer inside of that isolating, lonely experience, and it feels so big and powerful. But what kind of power is that? I mean, that's the kind of power that sets off bombs and adds to the trauma that's already so present in our world. So I'm just inviting you to contemplate, like, you know, what are you angry about? Where do you hold it in you? Where does it fester and create dark clouds around you? And how can you, like, allow it to shift into something else? Whether it's a very focused and purposeful kind of action to remedy the thing that you're mad about, whether it's having purposeful dialogue with somebody where you own your feelings and try to move through a process where a bridge of connection can be made. Had I succumbed to my anger a while ago, like, I wouldn't be in this marriage anymore. I would have, I don't know where I would be right now, but I think I would have been long gone because the feelings were so overwhelming sometimes. I have taken time to kind of cultivate and grow those skills of ownership and coming back into connection. And, you know, and then eventually, like, the truth of it all came out with this diagnosis. So I know that there's so many reasons, you know, for the feelings that we feel, and those emotions are purposeful. You know, they're in there for a reason, and we can't just squash them and shut them down and push them away and imagine that they'll go away, because they won't. We can't like make them nice and pretty and like, no, but if we're sitting and fuming in them and making everyone else around us suffer because of them, then that emotion has like lost its purpose. And it's time to do something about it. Because first and foremost, we're the ones that are suffering the most because we live inside of that big dark cloud. And other people might be paying for it in some way, and we might want them to, you know, but ultimately we suffer. So I'm praying that my daughter can, you know, I've requested that she go and just talk with the resources available to her at school, and I think she will. I invite her to talk with whoever can help her get in touch with this. I think I understand her far better than she imagines and what she's going through, but I can't force that out. Like, she's got to come to terms with that herself, and it's painful to be on this side of it because I just want to like smear, you know, smooth it all over and make it better, but that's not my, in this particular moment, that's not my, I'm just being called just to hold steady and let it come in the ways it's coming until it can come in a better way that really actually helps her more. So thank you for being here and listening. I feel like I've been all over the board with this, and feels pretty raw, and but I feel committed to kind of sharing the full range of my emotion as I go through this, because I think it's hard to know how to navigate hard times, and there's certain emotions that come up with it that feel like totally justified, and you know, but they just add to the hardness of the hard time. And so I think even in talking about it here, I just like move myself through the hardness of that and get to another place that feels better. And I feel a fresh commitment to just holding steady, and everything's okay and all of those emotions are okay, and eventually we'll get to a new place where it's a kind of okayness that actually feels a whole lot better. So peace to you, and have a wonderful day, and enjoy the beauty all around you, because it's definitely there.